Hello, my name is Molly Yanus, and today I wanted to show some of the most recent releases of StrAlign, a strategic decision making platform. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to the StrAlign portal. And from here, I'm actually on my home screen. I'm an admin in the home screen. And so I get some information about my own impact. So I've submitted 11 different ideas, one of which was promoted to an opportunity, and three have actually become projects. I can see some of the top rankings and how things have changed since the last time I logged in here. So it looks like there's been some changes. I can actually go in and I can check rankings at a little bit more granular level. And there's actually a brand new chart that I can see that's going to show kind of how the priorities have shifted over time. So in this case, I don't have a lot of data in here, but I can go ahead and shift it out like a month versus a week, and I can go ahead and change dates here to see when the most recent changes have happened. Okay. I can also filter down the information I'm looking at to see ideas versus opportunities projects. I've got some different departments here and I can look at some created dates. So I'm allowed to see some of this information here. If I want to go in and actually provide some analysis, right, I can come to the compare page and I can see my goal here. So intentional growth and profitability in kind of greater than 6 months. So I'm looking at that longer term goal. And I can see a couple of different ideas that I'm looking at. So one is an Echo Gives Back Day, a community focused event. One is kind of forecast to actuals piece. What is going to be more for intentional growth? I'm going to go ahead and say the forecast to actuals. I can see that my goal here changed. So client added value, satisfaction, really talking about our client relationships here. Where do I see that? I honestly think an improvement to our UAT process and training piece is probably the higher, going to provide more impact here. Short term profitability, we definitely want to go ahead and create more Power BI marketing. We're seeing a lot more with that with some of our work management solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. So you get the idea. Maybe I don't have a thought on this. I can go ahead and just skip this comparison. But what I'm doing is I'm looking at what my goal is and some different options that I have available for here. So this is one way I can provide my input. Another way I can provide input is actually just like a more classic rating using what's called a Likert scale. So I can look at a potential opportunity. So like the PMO maturity assessment sales tool service offering. So I can go ahead and choose to rate this. And when I do go ahead and rate this, I can see a little bit more information here. It's a gamification workflow. I want to think about whether this is going to provide short-term profitability in less than the next 6 months. And in all honesty, like, yeah, I think that the gamification flow will be a good tool. So I'm going to go ahead and say it has a positive impact. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. So intentional growth profitability, absolutely. We want to do more and more with the PMO maturity assessment and being able to provide some really actionable insights to our clients on that. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, it's going to have a really positive impact in what we're doing. Inbound sales brand awareness. Yep. You know what? This is going to be high positive impact as well for me. Team satisfaction and energy. I don't think it's going to have like a super positive or a negative impact. I'm going to just leave it as is. I don't think there's kind of like a strong impact association here. Client added value and satisfaction. Yep, we have had several clients ask for a PMO maturity assessment. That we do that with some consulting, but it would be great to have it as an actual tool that can be done without input and kind of have that those results of their assessment just kind of generated from the systems. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a positive impact for a lot of our clients. Improve collective knowledge. Yeah, definitely. When we think about PMO maturity assessment, everyone in our team has a little bit of different thought. I don't think it's going to have a huge because we really have a lot of experience here, but it'll have a little bit of a positive impact. So I'm going to go ahead and save that rating. And you know what? I'm going to go back to the list and I can do the same concept. So I've got two different ways that I can provide my input as a user in terms of how these different ideas will come into play. Now, if I put my leadership hat on, I'm actually looking at, okay, so I did some votes. Great. But what am I actually looking to do? What I'm looking to do is do what I call scenario planning. So, with scenarios, what we've done is we've gone ahead and created a scenario that looks at the different goals we have and goes ahead and weights them differently. So, if I look at this default scenario, the one that's kind of driving my ratings, I'm saying, okay, short-term profitability right now is a high priority for our team. We had a rough Q1. We're looking to recover. Let's do some focus on some short-term profitability. We're definitely looking at intentional growth over time. StrAlign is part of that for sure. Inbound sales awareness and things like that. Some of our activities that we put out free content on YouTube and LinkedIn and other things like that. Our team is very important to us, our client satisfaction, and improving our collective knowledge and really kind of cross pollinating some of the great work that our team is doing with all of our different clients. So that as well. So I have this here. This is my default scenario. But I have some other scenarios here where I also look at, hey, we want to go for investment. Maybe I rate my goals a little bit differently, or team client satisfaction. So I'm going to go ahead and compare some different scenarios. And so you can see that I've gone ahead and created a couple of scenarios that look a little bit different. So one is really focused very much on team satisfaction and client satisfaction. And one is really looking at more, growth longer term and things like that. So I have two different scenarios here. And I'm going to go to scenario planning. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm really going to see how priorities would shift if I was focusing on team and client satisfaction versus if I'm going to go ahead and focus on investment is the other scenario I've created. So here you can kind of see, okay, you know what? Control Center, it's a Smartsheet product, blueprint demo, not as important on either client satisfaction and team or investment. Looking, move Calendly to bookings. That's kind of an internal cost efficiency thing, not a big change here. But we've got some things that we think we would go in higher. So a Smartsheet course, we've been having a lot of requests to really do kind of a group of people that are looking to kind of really level up their Smartsheet skills. So not an intro course, but really an enhancement, how to really maximize the tool course. So that's something interesting. We definitely have some internal hiccups in terms of QA and UAT solutions. So really wanting to have a very strong defect logging solution that we're using, and really improving some of our test cases from a usability standpoint. And there's some other components here as well. So what this is allowing me to do is say, okay, if I change my goals, right? Like if we go back to scenarios, if I change how my goals, how I prioritize my goals, I can see how that might shift the priorities of my organization. So really exciting stuff, all done right here. Additionally, again, my name is Molly Yanus. I am the founder of Echo Consulting and StrAlign, which is our first product that we're bringing to market. It's a strategic decision making. So we've talked a little bit about that today. A couple other things I didn't mention. Hey, you can go ahead and add a new idea here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new idea. I've had a little bit more in terms of work management, um, uh, and project management tool comparisons. We've had a lot of requests for videos for tool comparisons here. You saw that when I typed this, it started to show related items, right? So, are any of these related items the same concept? I mean, Airtable is one of the tools we're getting more information on. Maybe this is related, so I'll link that in. And then I can also add a little bit more of a description here. So, creating videos and blog content to share some of our deciding factors, right? Um, for why we recommend one platform or another for different clients, depending on their process and requirements, like document management, dependencies. What do we think? One of the things that really helps us determine like which platform is like if they're reoccurring tasks, um, how mature the approval process is, and tech savviness. I can spell of tech savvy champion is what we call the person that's kind of like really like administering the plan, right? Okay, and then for the department here, I'm going to put this as an idea for marketing for right now. But you know what? It's probably biz dev as well. So here I go. I'm going to go ahead and submit this idea. Yes, I want to go ahead and submit my idea. And then that idea now goes into my list of ideas that can be ranked and can be compared and can be other things. Okay. So you'll see that it doesn't initially have any ranking here because it's at the bottom. We don't have it yet. But once it goes ahead and gets compared, it can go up and down throughout the piece. Okay. One more thing I'll just mention, I'm an admin, so I can go ahead and see who the users are. I can import my ideas or projects or things like that that I might want to rank against. I also have some settings I can look at in terms of notifications. I can add departments and see how many users are in each department. And I've got some general settings as well in terms of what can be compared, what can be rated, if there's different rankings for different members of the team and things like that. So again, my name is Molly Yanus. I'm the founder of StrAlign. We're so excited to really bring this project prioritization, strategic decision making, how you can keep your team strategically aligned with your goals, and really give them a tool where their input matters. Their input is included, and they can see how priorities shift over time. Okay, you can even see just since the first vote that we did, my PMO maturity assessment, hey, you know what, this just increased one based on those super positive ratings that I just gave that, compared to some of our goals. So again, Molly Yanus, hopefully you'll reach out for a demo, reach out for more information. We're doing free trials right now. We're really excited to release this software to humanity. So thank you.